Hello, Hrithik. So, firstly, thank you so much for doing this conversation. It's so lovely to have you here.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for hosting this.
So, sir, we are joined by approx 100 fans from across the globe. Some are bunking their colleges. Some
Oh,
have,
damn.
squeezed
I'm
in.
I'm going to be blamed for that.
No, I'm sure they are happy to do that.
Okay.
So, over the last 2 days, we have been flooded with questions from everyone. So, without
Right.
wasting much of the time, with your permission, can we dive into the questions?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
So, firstly, a very happy birthday to
Luffy
you in
saying, Luffy has bunked class.
advance.
Working alongside the chat, Rupali. Okay.
So, firstly, happy birthday to you in advance.
Sitting with her manager. Big hug. Bunked everything. Prince is working. Thank you, Pradeep. Love you, Nitin. This is great. Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, it's your birthday tomorrow. So, to start with, what are your plans for your birthday like?
My plans for the birthday this time.
Yes.
Last year I had COVID, so I was tucked away in my home in Khandala, all by myself. Um, this time I'm having a little get together of family and friends. I'll do that tomorrow evening.
Oh, wow. But so this brings me to the next question. It's by Vasundhara. Is there any particular birthday ritual that you follow every year?
Not really, not really. Birthdays for me, when they started off, they were a lot of fun, and then they became a kind of a chore. And I realized that I have to do all these things. And, must celebrate and must give back, must do this, must do that. And then finally, I realized that now off late, I have started looking at birthdays as okay. Let's be more aware of what I want to do really, and then that's my starting point now. So now there's no pressure. I I try and think of things that I could do that to make myself really feel fulfilled, as opposed to doing what is like a mandate that oh you must do this, you must do that. So I kind of really enjoy my birthdays. This past 3-4 years, I've really enjoyed myself.
So, do you believe
Sometimes I may do nothing at all,
Oh,
and that would be what would fulfill me. Sometimes I might take a class, do a dance class, or do something. Go for a early morning jog, start the day off with a run. Yeah.
so it differs from year to year based on what space you are in.
Yeah. But almost every year, I think family has been a big part of it. My family is always around me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so do you believe in the wishes that people make? Like, there's this thing called birthday resolution. So do you believe in those resolution, and is there one for you this year?
No, I don't really make resolutions because I'm a pretty resolute guy. So my resolutions kind of happen throughout the year. Small accomplishments. But I don't not believe in them. They're a very good way to start the year off. If it works for you, and if there is something you really want, and you make a resolution, I think it's a great idea. This year, I have a resolution to kind of like I don't have one, but I will try and think of one right now. Maybe I'm going to start being a little bit more social.
Oh,
I'm actually a pretty social guy, but I don't manage to find the time to go out. So my average of going out in the evenings or even in the days is minimal, and I'd like to change that. I'd like to be more social. I'd like to take more classes. I'd like to build a skill. Maybe really get down to accomplishing what I want with my voice as somebody who hopefully can manage to sing at some point, because I really enjoy singing, but I've not been able to sit down and just like work at it, and I think I need to do
okay.
that. Yeah.
So basically, you can say that singing is a skill which you want to maybe master at in the coming year. Like, would that be the right?
Yeah, singing, dancing, dancing as well. I really want to be able to be spontaneous with dancing. I mean, the reason I say this is because every time there's a dance song, I kind of like start from scratch. You got to like retrain the body, retrain the mind,
Yeah.
because one song a year is what is required of me to do, and because I do one film a year, so one or two songs a year, and becomes very like hectic during that shoot. So probably you know dancing like 2 or 3 times a week just for myself as a practice will be a good thing to do. So dancing and singing.
So I think this was a question asked by Aradhya, that a skill you wanted to master in. So I think she got the answer, dancing and singing, maybe.
Okay. All right. Thank you for
And
your
so
question, Aradhya.
you have been a lover of cinema. You keep yourself updated with content across. I know you don't have any favorites as such, but if you had to recommend a film to any aspiring student of cinema, which would it be?
Well, if it's a student of cinema, I would recommend watching a pretty complicated film, but a beautiful film at that. It's an English film. Yeah, it's called Arrival. Uh, it of course is a genre that is sci-fi, which is it's my favorite genre. So Arrival is a mind-boggling film. I totally love that film. So as a student, I would recommend that film. And for a non-student, just for fun, I think if you haven't watched Angur, I think you should watch Angur. So one of the
That's
funniest films.
Yes, it's my personal favorite as well. Angur is like Angur and Chupke
Mm,
Chupke and so many more of Rishikesh again.
yeah,
And and Ritik sir, if there's a content, if there's a genre which you binge watch in the digital platform, which genre
yeah.
is it, and which is the series that you last binge watched?
What genre is Fargo? Have you seen Fargo?
Oh, I think it's a dark anthology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Whatever that genre is, that's my favorite kind of binge watch when I'm at home. But of course, I like all kinds. I like all kinds. But Fargo is one has been one of my favorites. Then of course there are the other popular ones like Breaking Bad, and I mean, there are so many, Game of Thrones, and so many of them. Currently, I'm watching The Boys, which is also pretty good.
Oh, yes, the superhero,
Yeah, it's
explores
a
the dark side
twisted,
of super. Yeah.
twisted, dark. Yeah, crazy.
And Hrithik, so we have all heard how involved you are in the process of filmmaking, right from the word go. So Nayan wants
Yeah.
to know that would you ever want to direct or write a film like your father, Rakesh Roshan sir?
Um, well, I have been aware of. I don't want to say yes because I know that is it's too easy to just say yes, but I think if I could, I'd be happy about it. Is actually what I would say.
Okay.
If I could ever take the reins in my hand like this and command and lead, I would be proud of myself. I think I would. It would be a sense of victory and accomplishment. I would love the process, but I don't know if I can yet. I still have to
Okay.
see if that aspect inside me grows. Not sure.
But sir, you have turned a producer with HRX Films. Is that also a challenging thing? And is that a one step that you
Oh,
have taken to?
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It might be a challenge, but on the face of it, it's really a lot of fun for me. Uh, so my cousin brother and I, Ishan Roshan and I, we have started this production company, and I'm very very happy with it because the the idea of building the process of building something is something that really excites me. So it's maybe a good stepping stone if I ever have to direct a film. I mean, maybe this would be a kind of a precursor. I don't know.
But Hrithik sir, when as an actor, like you said, there is always a headspace that you are in to do a certain film or a certain genre. At this point of time, which are the characters that you feel you want to explore?
Well,
genre?
I am currently exploring my character of Patty in Fighter, and it's very, very interesting because Patty is, in many ways, age-wise as well, and also in maturity, he's a little younger than me. He's a little younger than how um, how Kabir was. Like Kabir is much more evolved. He's much more composed. Patty is young. Patty is spontaneous. Patty is angry. Uh, Angry at things that maybe I would not personally be angry at. So it's a
Okay.
very interesting space for me to go back to because I remember me being like that at some point in my life. It's very, very hard to reconcile because I know as a person that
Yeah.
I would react in a different way, but I have to, kind of like put my put my level of evolution aside and say, okay, I'm going to play it here and not here. So that's
Yeah.
it's a very interesting space that I am working with Sid on in Fighter. Apart from that, is there a character that I would? I'm really looking subconsciously, I think, and consciously at doing a certain kind of comedy.
Oh,
Like a serious comedy. Serious comedy? Yeah, I
you
actually
mean a
meant that.
situational
Serious
comedy?
comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
serious situational comedy. I'm really looking for that. Hopefully, I'll find something.
When we are on social media, there is one thing which we often read. I think even you must have heard this from your fans. They want to see you often on screens. How
Hmm.
do you react to such comments when the fans are like they want to see you do one or two film a year? And how do you
Yeah, the
try to
answer to that
balance
is
that?
very simple. The
Yeah.
answer to that is really very simple. Uh, I have done all the films that came to me that I wanted to do.
Okay.
So the buck stops there. Do you get what I'm saying? I have
Yes.
done each and every film that I wanted to do. There's not a film that came to me and I said, Ari, I can't do this, but because I'm doing this film right now, so I can't do that. So there's never been a sacrifice. I've done
Yeah.
so. If there are more scripts that come to me, which I like, the more films,
You'll
is it that many more films I will be able to do. So it's really about how many scripts I like
So the motivation comes eventually from the script. Everything boils
from the
down to
script.
the script.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
to, you know, uh, put a filter on and look at life in a certain way, and then there's a script that comes, and then it excites me, and that's what makes me move. I if you give me a script that's substandard and say that okay, do this because of the money or because you need to be seen,
Yeah.
it's impossible for me to move. मैं उठूंगा ही नहीं मैं. So बैठा रहूंगा
Correct.
मैं.
So I know Vedant wants to know: is there any legacy that you want to leave behind?
So Vedant, I this is a very good question, because everybody wants to leave behind a legacy. And I've often been, I've also often succumbed to that. It's a great thought, okay, I should be remembered like this, I should be remembered like that. But हाल ही में मैंने महसूस किया कि that is not as important as living a good life when you're
Oh,
alive. So there are a lot of things we sacrifice while we live so that the legacy is great. We'll sacrifice sleep, we'll sacrifice time with friends, we'll sacrifice time with family, and we will constantly be doing things so that we get more popular, we become more famous, and we are remembered for great things.
yeah.
But the joy and contentment and sense of peace in your waking hours and your sleeping hours, creating time and space for doing nothing, and then allowing relationships to build in those spaces, these are things also are very, very important. So yes, I would like to leave behind a legacy, but not at the cost of my life. I would my prior. I think I would advise people to prioritize their current life, their current days.
Yeah.
Every day trying to have a better day the next day and the next day. What are the things you can do? And that's the practice. Every day is a practice. Every day you wake up, every day you brush, every day you have a bath, you clean, you go for work, you come back, you sleep, day in and day out. The 20-30 साल के बाद अगर तुम्हारे जो दिन हैं अगर वो दिन बेहतर नहीं हो रहे हैं, then what are you working at? Your days
True.
need to get better. You need to practice your days. Every day you're practicing, and every day you should feel like as if you're living your days better. You're getting better at it. I think that's more important than leaving behind a legacy when
Legacy.
you're all dead and gone.
And I think when that happens, automatically you do leave a mark in some people's heart.
Yeah, leave goodwill behind.
Yeah.
Be a
Yeah.
good human, leave goodwill behind. Legacy is still not as important. Your goodwill will be
Yeah.
important. You might leave a legacy, and you might be a rascal in your life. And that's not really going to get you any goodwill.
Yeah.
When you're dead and gone and your children walk into a room, people should stand up out of respect, because of the goodwill, not because of
Yeah.
how famous or popular what the legacy was. Yeah.
So, Krrish and Koi Mil Gaya as a franchisee, like Koi Mil Gaya franchisee, if I have to say, has
Hmm.
had a huge impact in
Hi,
every
Mr.
person.
A. Sorry, I keep hearing you, but I'll also
Yeah.
say
So,
hi to the fans.
it has had a huge impact on every person's life, every child from the 90s. So, this question is actually asked by Ankit, but it is the voice of everyone. When can we see you back as a superhero in Krish? What's happening on that front right now?
I think we should all get together and send out a little prayer because everything is set. Everything is set. We are stuck on one little technicality, and
Okay.
hopefully we will overcome that maybe this year. So
Oh,
it definitely is in the pipelines. Soon, it'll happen.
oh,
It'll happen soon.
yes. And so, this is actually another question. Sanket and AB Dalwai have asked this. क्या जादू फिर से धरती पर आएगा? That's a
Yeah,
question.
you have to see the film for that.
Okay. And so there's
But there is
Anand from.
magic.
Of course, there is magic. So we are hoping for him to be over here. And so Anand from Kerala has a very fun question around Krish itself. Can you tell us one truth and one lie regarding the plot of Krish 4? It's up to the fan to decide what is true, what is false.
Oh my God. Mm. Krish loses. Jadoo dies.
Okay. So now, that leaves everyone to speculate which one is true, which one is false.
It's a tough one. It could be a trick one as well.
Yeah, you never know. But so looking forward to Krish. I mean, it's one of my most
Thanks, man.
awaited. I hope we get it soon.
Thank you.
So the next one is actually my question. So all through your career, you have explored various facets of action. You have done so many action films. What is it in action film that excites you even now as an actor?
There in action films there is I just I love all the VFX. I love that there is an opportunity there to further cinema technically. The the using the new systems and the new machines and new technology. There's a rhythm to action films. There's a pace. There's a meter. There's an ability to bring in contrasting elements like there's action, and then there is a depth. So there is that mix is very interesting for me, where you have intensity, you have fast-paced stuff, and then you have these moments of calm. So I love that pace in action films. I love that action films keep me fit. They demand the most out of me, and I like doing them because they make me look good as well. So
Oh, we saw that
so
in War. I think you got the nation.
Yeah. It was fun to do action films. But it's very hard to write an action film, which is why I've not done many of them. It's very hard to write an action film because people mostly write great events and great sequences,
Yeah.
but the story seems to take second priority in action films. They focus on the special effects and focus on the high octane action and all the big visuals and the big scale,
Yeah.
but the story loses out. So I like to see action films without all the action, without all the VFX, all right, and just see if the story is working. And if the
Hmm.
story is working, all of that becomes a bonus. That's when I enjoy an action film.
And talking of action and VFX, you're doing fighter at the moment. So there's Abhishek who wants to know: Are you shooting with the real fighter jets, or is it like a VFX driven film?
Real. We just shot for about 12 days inside the Sukhois, and with the Sukhois, it has been incredible. Yeah,
And it was
it's
you
been
had.
so inspiring. It's been so inspiring just being around the Indian Air Force. I learned so much, the body language and the decorum, the discipline, uh, what they're up against every single day. Um, the courage, the adrenaline, the excitement, everything is just, it's another world. I'm very glad that I got to go and experience that myself.
Just exactly a year from now, we might get to see all the efforts with the trailer of the film.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
And so, war ended with the promise of a sequel.
Yeah.
So when do we get to meet Kabir again? This is a question asked by Satyam and many more.
Oh, Aditya Chopra is extremely secretive. I think you should just take it from my expression.
I think it's happening soon. Your expression says this.
I'm not saying anything.
And so, all through your career, we have read about the kind of prep that you do for your character. If I have to ask, what is the craziest thing that you have done to get into a character? What would it be, and for which character?
Okay, I might sound a little mental if I say this, but when I was an adult, I was coming into films, and I realized that my lower set of teeth were protruding. So I had gone to the dentist to put these plates on, and every week I had to, turn the screw so that it would slowly take my lower set of the teeth back inside. When I was doing Koi Mil Gaya, I used the same plate and I turned the screw the other way
Oh,
so as to bring it back out. I think that was a bit mental, but I did it and it did work for me.
wow, that's one of your most iconic performance till date, Rohit, in Koi Mil Gaya.
Yeah. So I actually used the braces to do the opposite thing of what it was supposed to do.
But
Yeah.
it must be painful, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little, yeah, bit of a sadist there.
And so when we talk of characters, this is a question from your fan club called Hrithik Roshan Gold. They want to know, if a movie was made on your life, how would it be? Like,
Say that again. A movie on my life.
yeah.
It would be a satire. Be satire.
Oh.
It'd be very funny and very dark. Yeah, it would be a kind of a crazy, serious comedy.
I think you
But
really
comedy
want
for
to do a
sure.
comedy. Yeah, you want to do a comedy right now. I think so. I hope universe
Yeah,
conspires
but
to bring a
actually,
big.
that could be the best comedy for me to do. It's my own life. It's quite a comedy, but a very serious comedy.
Of course. And so, hypothetically, if there was a spin off to one of the characters played by you, which would it be?
Spin-off, I think Veda would be fun as a spin-off. We haven't seen much of what he could do.
Yeah.
Zafar from Luck by
Oh,
Chance.
yes.
That little spineless, that'd be a great spin-off as well. Um Rohit from Koi Mil Gaya, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Kabir is already War 2, but
Yes.
yeah.
So these are the 4 characters
Yeah.
which are very close
I
to
think
your heart.
Zafar would top it. Very interesting.
Zafar.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's Rupali who wants to know something very personal. She had seen your video where you cut off the black thread from your wrist after Vikram Vedha.
Hmm.
So how have you let go of other characters that you have played?
Well, every film, every character has its own process, and sometimes it's as simple as cutting off the thread. With Rohit, I had an attachment with his spectacles, and it was I was very attached to those spectacles. For every character, I use a certain cologne, and I never use it again. So that's a memory. It takes me back in a second. But yeah, every time, and not every character has has become that attached. But some become very
Yeah.
personal. And then I need a physical action to kind of
Okay.
like let go. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have a very fun question from your cousin brother Ishan. So he has asked you, when will you allow others in the family to beat you in Damsharats?
To what?
To beat you in Damsharats. Is there
You
a
can't.
story
You
behind it?
can't. Issues asked this.
Yes.
Well, nobody can beat me in Damsharaj, man. I'm just the very best. I'm. I am maybe the best thing about me is how good I am in Damsharaj.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm. You can see I really pride myself at that at that game.
But is there a story behind it? Like for the question, like you often play
No,
the
it's
game.
just that I always win. That's it. That's the
Okay.
story. I'm very competitive when it comes to Damsharaj.
Wow. That's interesting. And so, there are 2 fans of yours, Anand and Arafat Khan. He's from Bangladesh. I mean, he makes a lot of graphics on you. I've seen him on social media. So they want an advice from your end on stammering, because how did you cope up with stammering, and what was your source of motivation to overcome it?
Source of motivation is one life. You have to go to the edge of everything that you experience. You have to explore. You have to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and explore. Come to the precipice. And then just as you're about to fall off that is where things reveal themselves and growth happens and all of that. So this is of course something that I can talk about for hours and hours. It's my whole life. But there are many things that you can do to help yourself. One of the most incredible things that I learned was learning mindfulness. I don't know if I can explain it, but it's moving really slow, with your hands, the way you pick up a glass. If you ever seen like actors who are very watchable, all their actions are very mindful. They're very mindful of the fingers and how their hands are moving as they're talking. It's something that if you learn how to be mindful of your actions, it will have a very positive effect on the way you speak. And if you have a stutter, then this is something that you can just explore. It worked for me. It worked. There are a plethora of things that can work for you. You have to explore for yourself, and find the answers. This is a very lonely one-person journey, but you can get help along the way, and I'm here to help. If there's anything that I can do for someone, I'd be happy to help.
I'm sure you are an inspiration for so many people, and I think that's the reason why I see very few fans who come up to their idol for advices, and I think you are one of them. So that's a great thing that you stand up for them when they need you.
Well, I'm thankful for that. They inspire
And so,
me.
yes. And so, last few questions.
Yeah.
This one is from Maggie. What are the little hidden pleasures of Hrithik Roshan, the person and not a superstar? Like it could be an interesting conversation, a good book, doing nothing, or just seeing a sunset. Like what?
Conflict resolutions. I really enjoy resolving conflicts. It could be in a relationship. It could be with you know a colleague. If there's any conflict, the process of resolving it, that to me is a pleasurable thing to do, because I always look at it as an opportunity to acknowledge, practice acknowledging if I made a mistake, and bonding better by asking the other person more about what has created this distance or this antagonism. So conflict resolutions are my favorite thing to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Actually, that's very interesting. But sir, is there any particular characteristics in a person that you admire the most?
I think the same, the willingness to be convinced about something and doing it, with a going ahead with it, with a vengeance, having conviction. That's something that I admire. And I admire when you accept your mistake with the equal amount of courage and vengeance when you made a mistake. So strength, being strong, and being vulnerable. So these are the two in a this combination is what I admire most
In people. The chat box is actually flooded with one
Yeah, I'm
single
trying to
comment.
read. 1 second.
Yeah, right now, I'll just read it for you. It's okay. The one common comment which I'm reading in the chat box right now is, when can fans expect a new announcement from you? I think everyone is asking the same thing. It's your birthday tomorrow. Can they expect something tomorrow, or what when can we expect a new announcement?
Yeah, this is I leave these things to the producers. We spoke of Krrish 4, and
Yeah.
mm, I think I'll leave the next announcement to my producer, which I think should happen soon.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so if there is a hashtag, word, or phrase which
Hmm.
describes you the most, which describes you the best, sorry, what would it be?
Well, I guess it would be YOLO, YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something new I've learned. I think it would be that.
YOLO. I think Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Basically, that's the Hindi translation.
True, man.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. And so, one thing, is there any playlist of yours that you follow, like in terms of music, your favorite songs, or a playlist to motivate you, or a playlist that you use during gym?
So I'm very confused about my playlist, man. I don't I don't know why. I used to hear things have changed now. I used to hear all kinds of music in the gym. Uh, I used to hear old Hindi songs. I used to hear, very calming sounds. Of late, I'm hearing crazy stuff. I think Chris Gethin has had a this influence on me, because I'm really pushing it so hard in the gym now these days for fighter, that I'm hearing just like noise. It's these really like hard rock and rap, and it's and I don't know if I even like them, but they are what is playing. Those are the songs which are playing in the gym.
Yeah.
So I'm very confused about my playlist as of now. But yeah, so no favorites, man. I don't know, I'm sounding like a like a fool right now, because Why don't I have a playlist? I should. I'm gonna get down to doing this and getting this right
Sorted.
soon.
Okay. And so last two questions we have. Number one, it's from Roshan's FC official. The question: there are so many wonderful fans of yours who make creatives, posters, and video edits.
Oh yeah.
Do you get a chance to see them?
Not only do I see them, sometimes I use them to inspire my directors. I remember there was something that was made before Super 30, and there was some fan made. I don't remember the person's name now, but I had clicked a screenshot of that and tried to have people get aligned to that kind of a look, that kind of a world. So it's been very, very helpful. Even in I think Fighter now, there are very recently I saw something that was so good that Sid and I have exchanged messages on WhatsApp saying we need to do better than this now, because that's the expectation. So it's always amazing when fans send things that inspire. I'm very thankful.
And so, anything you want to say all the wonderful fans who took the time out to attend this session today?
I just want to say thank you. I remember every birthday of mine, I get so much love, and I get love all through the year. That is, sometimes I really feel undeserving of it. And not only that, but they take that love and they go outside and they contribute it to other people. They do things for the poor. And I just want to say thank you. It's such a wonderful place to be. Just have gratitude. Thank you to all my fans for being so genuine and being so honest with me about me, and for being so kind for the love of me to contribute to the world. That's just incredible. So just thank you for being there. And I do not take them for granted. I do not take you guys for granted. I know that I need to keep doing good work and better work so that I always deserve the love. So I completely understand if I don't do good work and you don't like me anymore. That's not on you, that's on me. I got to make sure that I rise up to expectations.
Sure, and you deserve all the love that comes your way. Like, there's no two ways on it. So
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, again for doing this conversation. Pleasure. And taking time out. And
Pleasure.
sir, before we end this, all the fans wanted to surprise you with one thing. So I would request the host to just unmute them. There's one small surprise.
Just one second.
Yeah.
Is there a way that I can see all of them? 1 second. Why?
Gugu, I love you.
Hrithik sir, I love you.
Love you too.
Hrithik sir,
love you, Hrithik sir.
Love you.
Love you, sir.
Love you, Hrithik sir.
Love you, Hrithik sir.
Would you believe we have it?
We love you.
Happy birthday in advance.
Very, very happy birthday in advance.
Happy birthday, sir.
Lots of love.
Lots of love, sir. Happy birthday, sir.
Love you, sir.
Shayan, my son,
Love you,
Shayan.
sir.
Happy birthday, sir. Next time.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday in advance,
Love you
sir.
lots.
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Wishing you happy birthday, Hrithik sir.
Happy birthday, sir.
Krish.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Krish.
Thank you, Balram.
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, sir.
Hello, sir. Love from Bangladesh.
Hello, sir.
Happy
From
birthday,
Bangladesh.
sir. Love from Kolkata.
Happy birthday, sir.
From Gujarat, sir.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
शक्ल नहीं आई भाई.
Love from Bangladesh.
Start video, Bangalore, sir. Wish you happy birthday, sir.
सर मेरा वीडियो बंद कर रखा है, ऑन करे वो.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
They're hoping for an
Thank you, thank you,
tomorrow.
Yash.
Happy birthday, Hrithik sir.
Happy birthday.
Video sir on कर दीजिए sir. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Video on कर दीजिए sir.
Lots of love.
वीडियो ऑफ कर दिया है बर्थडे सॉन्ग
वीडियो ऑफ करके रखा है सर हमारा।
Happy birthday, Ritik.
अनब्लॉक माय वीडियो सर.
सर वीडियो ऑन कर दो।
वीडियो ऑफ करके रखा है।
ये सब तो महंगा है।
Love from
अनब्लॉक
Bangladesh.
तो कर दीजिए सर वीडियो.
अरे मैं सर माइक बोल रहा हूँ, मेरा वीडियो हैप्पी बर्थडे सर।
सोच रहे हैं क्या करूं.
Switch on the videos.
हैप्पी बर्थडे
sir.
मैं बगल में ही हूँ।
Thank you very
हैप्पी
much.
बर्थडे सर, हैप्पी बर्थडे सर।
लव यू सर. लव यू.
To Ahmedabad, I will come soon. Thank you, Sanjay. Okay. And let's go back to Himesh.
Yes, sir. So before we sign off, I think everyone would want to click a virtual picture with you. So if they can
Yeah,
take
let's
a
do that.
picture. Yeah.
How?
So I think everyone can take a screenshot. You can just pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on.
I think the video is off.
I hope they've got it. This has been fun. Yeah, it's been really, really nice for me. Thank you so much, Himesh. Himesh, can you hear
Thank you
me?
so much, sir. Yeah, sir. I can hear
Thanks
you.
a lot,
Thank
man.
you so
Thank you.
much, sir. I hope you liked
It's
the
been great.
questions and the interaction.
Yeah, it's been great fun. It's been great fun. We should do this more often.
Yes, fingers crossed. And
Bye,
happy
everyone.
birthday.
Thank you so much. Love you all. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.